Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Just because I can, and I continue with Deus Ex Human Revolution Blind. Now I'm just about to break into this terminal over here, so let's do that.
Access granted.
Launch myself into the San Andreas vault. It's not gonna work, followers. Why the hell would it? Hugh Darrow would be the biggest moron on the planet if he made this geoengineering plan achieve any kind of success. Why would you want to put an end to something that's making you millions? VersaLife, Ravacor, the Gore Institute, all shoveling truckloads into stopping climate change. Why in Gaia's name would anyone want to stop the biggest fraud in the history of cash grabbing? 60 plus years and people haven't realized that these self-righteous environmentalists are nothing but a bunch of green tyrants. Green! Let's do everything green! Remember that one, followers? You know who's got the green right now? Hugh freaking Darrow! That's who!
So apparently the conspiracy theory guy seems to think that all the people claiming to want to stop global warming are actually secretly perpetuating it, or at least not stopping it and racking the profits and the popularity from being in the spotlight, which is something that some people actually believe nowadays also. But that's a tricky subject, I guess, because I guess you should differentiate between criticizing the approach of like ecologists and stuff and environmental activists and denying the global warming and the climate change as it is, because those are totally different things. One you can sort of discuss and you can have different opinions on, but the other is pretty much a scientific consensus that climate change is real and it is dependent on human activity. So if you deny that, then you're pretty much a hack.
VersaLife, Ravacor, the Gore Institute, all shoveling truckloads into stopping climate change. Why in Gaia's name would anyone want to stop the biggest fraud in the history
okay, so
60 plus years and people haven't realized that these self-righteous environmentalists are nothing but a bunch of green tyrants. Green! Let's do everything green! Remember that one, followers?
Financials, so I guess they're stealing data, like financial results, information about other companies, about their competition, cybernetics and Pro. I think that's what it means. Now, is there a vent in this room? Apparently not. But there is a vent somewhere nearby that they mentioned to me would lead inside the server room. It might be hidden like behind a box or something, because that's something the game really likes to do. I know I'm missing it because they've directly mentioned it like 3 times. I'm just not sure where I'm missing it. So you go to sleep. freak. No, that's not what I... Okay, that's not at all what I wanted to do. I didn't want to pick up the ammo, but I guess the alarm is raised, so now I just deal with the guards and then I can hack the remaining lasers in peace and just waltz in. Although I guess the bot is somewhat problematic because I don't have a good idea on how to defeat it. Does this work against bots? How about the taser? Like, it emits an electrical burst, so maybe it would scramble. It's also effective in temporarily disabling robots. The key word, I guess, is temporarily, which doesn't really satisfy me. Now, how do I...
Aren't supposed to be here.
Yeah. Okay, that is kind of a problem, actually. Like, I don't have a solid idea how to deal with the bot. I guess maybe they will not notice if I hack one of those and then just go inside and be a little bit quieter.
Access granted.
I should try to avoid alerting the bot if possible, because as I said, I don't have a good answer to it. Okay, I'll sort of resign myself to this approach now. Okay, this place, especially in contrast to lower Hengsha, actually looks kind of nice, but it's probably mostly because I can actually see the freaking sky and the sun. Like, it has been scientifically proven that not seeing the sun for prolonged amounts of time actually causes like depression and, you know, various psychological problems.
If anyone's here, come out now.
Did I miss? Oh, not quite.
Hey, you! Give up!
But I do think I've alerted the bot. Maybe not. I don't see it on my radar, at least. Okay, let's read the pocket secretary. And data core room entrance access code. Okay, that's definitely useful. And if I had to guess, probably a vent somewhere nearby. Yeah, right here. They even mentioned it a couple of times, but I guess it was on the other side of the lasers anyway, so my whole earlier, problem and my whole deliberation was pointless anyway. Because I had to break into...
I finished my installation of the security upgrades in the data core room.
Good. Now nothing can move around in there undetected.
Laser detection, surveillance cameras, and the sentries are all running at the highest level of efficiency. It's quite the light show in there, especially when the server unit's on.
I'm sure it's high-tech heaven.
Plus, the first intervention team is stationed nearby.
Good. Let me get this report to the boss so I'll get off my ass.
I had to get into this part first anyway. Now...
Huh? I saw that!
Okay, that's problematic, kind of. Because that's exactly what I... No! I think I'm dead. That's exactly... Yeah, you're right, I think I'm dead. I think you're totally correct. That's exactly what I wanted to avoid, them actually noticing me en masse. But I still wanted for them to finish the conversation. That's why I didn't enter the room earlier.
Sir, I finished my installation of the security upgrades in the data core room.
Good. Now nothing can move around in there undetected.
Laser detection, surveillance cameras, and the sentries are all running at the... Huh? What's that?
Check it out!
Okay, that didn't quite work.
Get out here!
Well,
I got you!
I guess I don't particularly care about the guards. The only major problem is
This isn't a game!
is the bot.
Where did he go?
Because I don't have a good way of dealing with the bot in particular.
Oh shit! You've had it! Gotta reload. It was right here.
Okay, and there should be... Oh, that's not the best moment to save, but... It turned out okay in the end, I guess. Now let's read those... pocket secretaries. Just a standard reminder about keeping undesirables out of the data control room. And the code. Okay, that's definitely useful. Now maybe there's like a security terminal which I can use to disable the bot. I won't lie, that would be a huge help.
Access granted.
Okay, I can't control the bots themselves because I don't have the proper augmentation, but disabling the cameras is still somewhat helpful. I'm surprised this isn't by Zhao. Okay. So, I guess Windmill, when he was working here, he keylogged one of the security hubs. But I guess this means I'm still not in the proper actual server room. This is just a security station. I guess this is the server room. It has like moving lasers. Which, this whole room is actually terribly designed, if you think about it. No, it has those multiple opportunities for you to hide. Like, I understand it's because the game wanted the scenario to actually be winnable, but still, from an actual lore perspective, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Supposedly, one of the lower lasers doesn't fully work. So perhaps I will be able to okay, this strikes me as a little bit of overkill. Anything interesting there? Right. Okay, I think I phrased the alarm anyway, so I guess screw it. The problem is the bot, though.
What's that?
What the hell is that? Let me come get you!
Yeah, I could have dealt with the guards eventually, but my problem is the bot. Like, I don't really have the tools necessary to destroy it. I guess there's a security station inside here. Not sure how they saw me, but
Let's check it out.
I'm dead. The problem is, like, I could cloak, but the problem is the cloak itself won't work against the laser, because obviously the laser doesn't use visual confirmation.
Show your face. Hold it.
Now the question here is, what do I do about the bot? To be honest, don't have too many ideas. Maybe I'll just run from it. Okay, my objective is over here. I will probably still need to eventually return.
Pritchard, I'm retrieving Van Bruggen's evidence now. Is Sarif patched in?
Right here, Adam. I'm listening.
I just heard that your team is mobilizing in Detroit. Why wasn't I informed of this sooner?
Tactical assignments are not your concern.
Reed and her team have subdermal GPL implants. They'll be tracked. Kidnapping them was a mistake.
Montreal took care of that.
Forgive me if I don't put as much faith in our friend Eliza as you do. She's too erratic.
Your concerns are noted, but I would advise you to concentrate on your own assignments instead of interfering with mine. Namir out.
Boss, did you get that?
I heard. I just...
Megan and the others. They're alive.
We've got to stay focused. Zhao is a residence at the top of the tower. It's off limits to everyone except her and her guards. Now get up there and find out what she knows.
Okay. That's a welcome development, in fact. You know, to see that, to learn that Megan is in fact still alive. I was sort of, you know, thinking about it because I was like, it's probably the reason why they damaged the bodies to such a high degree to make it impossible for the investigators to properly recognize all of the victims, so then they can just bullshit you know, the public and whoever that it was the team, and instead they kidnapped them, presumably to force them to recreate whatever whatever research they did in the first place. Okay, I guess I'm still staying on this level. Oh, again, that's a very stupid design. You would think they would make it so that the laser beams cover the entire room, like from here, and scan it constantly, like from one side to the other or something. This looks like out of the out of a spy comedy or something, you know, and them the heroes doing improbable parkour to get around those. Now where am I here? Archive? Well, I guess I'm going to hack those, if only for additional information and fluff. I should have enough time to get this.
Access granted.
5 XP, what a great reward. The Dutchman. Yeah, that's the hacker.
Access granted.
It's another one of those Nigerian scammer emails. It seems the offices here are mostly empty.
Access granted.
Biochips for limb. So I guess the keep forgetting his full name. Yonglin Medical? Yanlin? Younglin? Well, anyway, this company is working with LIM and delivering a lot of biochips for them, presumably in advance of they want to produce a massive amount of augmentations at once or something. And that's about the inbox limit of 4 emails.
What the hell is that?
Okay.
Gotta trigger the alarm!
I guess the offices
Kill you!
aren't
Gotta trigger the alarm!
as deserted as I assumed at first.
Gotta trigger the alarm!
I guess they already triggered the alarm, so I don't really have to worry about that. It is what it is. I'm pretty crappy at stealth in this game anyway.
Access granted.
Child and violence. That title still sort of perturbs me, although I guess it could just be a psychological treatise on how children deal with violence, which is probably more plausible than a book about committing violence against children, but still.
Access granted.
Okay, I can at least disable the camera, which doesn't really matter at this point, because the alarm is still raised. Because this guy, like, I've waited for 7,000 years, roughly, and he raised the alarm over here, which I guess I can hack it myself to disable it. Not that it matters too much.
Access granted.
Now, anything here? Again, it's not an article by Zhao. I'm surprised. So basically, an article about new diseases and whatever, which I guess is also kind of foreshadowing for the Great Death in Deus Ex 1, but then again, Great Death wasn't exactly a naturally occurring disease. It was actually manufactured. Some drama inside the company. New biochip. Is it? It says here that it's light years beyond anything our research team have come up with. So is it a result of interrogating the people kidnapped from Sarif? Because after all, for now at least, it seems one of the main reasons that Tai Yang even has even attacked Sarif in the first place is because of the competition they posed and because of the massive breakthrough that Megan's team was in charge of. Oh, okay, this is pretty horrible, actually, because it seems to imply that they are doing human experimentation on their own employees, and not only that, actually on their like mid-rank employees that live in the upper hangar, and they want to first motivate the lowest rank of the workers by promising them accommodation in the upper hangar, and once they get it, they want to use them as test subjects for their experiments, which is pretty cold.
Rival corporation Enprotech of Scotland. Enpro stock had taken it.
I've read that. I think I have an EMP grenade equipped, which is perfect because it's perfect because I didn't have any other way of dealing with that. And I'm dead anyway. A pity, but I've become accustomed to failure over the past 20 or whatever hours.
Biotech corporation Taiyang Medical continue to emerge. Sources close to the multinational giant inform me that it has successfully. To China now, as details about a bold maneuver by biotech corporation Taiyang Medical continue to emerge.
It's weird how the human guards don't seem to particularly mind what just happened.
Enpro stock had taken.
If anyone's here, come out now!
And that's one of them. Barely survived that, and that's mostly because of the subdermal armor, so I'm definitely glad I got that.
He's here. Better search the place. Come on!
Okay, this guy is alive. This guy is alive, and the other guy is also alive. guess let's hack this. I might actually not have enough time.
Access granted.
Okay, so they've been searching for someone, but I'm not sure, like, is it about Windmill, the hacker, or... Yeah, right, and that's about him, hiding in the Alice Garden pods, and I guess this is the conversation about their strike team that I fought there, you know, after getting the card, the access card for Taeyong Medical from the hacker. The whole building was attacked and they killed most of the people there. Okay. It should be enough time.
Access granted.
1/25th of the population who can afford an augmentation. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you've got a glitch, and they want you to report. That's right, report to your local limb clinic and get it fixed. Whoa, followers! This is a gem in fucking teed. And not only do they want you to report to a limb clinic near you, but yup, you guessed it, they want to refit you with a brand spanking new one. Well, good luck, Augies. Might as well pick up your ball and chain too while you're there. Unbelievable.
So I didn't catch the entirety of that, but it seemed to imply that the augmentations are actually a way to control people, which is definitely something I've been, you know, thinking about a lot, and it's an interesting plot point possibility for the Deus Ex series. I will elaborate on that in a moment after I finish reading those. Okay, that's beyond foul. After the attack on Sarif, which all signs point to it being ordered by, or at least conducted, because probably orders came from behind the scenes from, I don't know, for all I know it could be Illuminati or whatever. They play an important role in Deus Ex after all, but it was conducted by people related to Taeyong Medical, and afterwards the CEO contacted Sarif that she wants to buy them out, presumably taking advantage of the lowered stock value afterwards.
Yes, sir, you heard me right. A glitch. If you're one of the fortunate 1/25th of the population who can afford an augmentation, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you've got a glitch, and they want you to report. That's right, report to your local limb clinic and get it fixed. Whoa!
Yeah, now about the augmentations and how they can be used to control people. Now that's a very interesting point, and something that I've already always wondered about in every Deus Ex installment, because for me, like, one of the most creepy and dangerous and scary possibilities for me whenever I think about cybernetic augmentation, especially deep things such as things, you know, involving your actual brain, and not simple cybernetic limbs, but neural augmentations that deeply interfere with the way your brain and your nerves work. The thing I always wondered about is, how would you know, if you have no technical knowledge of the subject yourself, how would you know that the advertised function of the augmentation is all that you get? Like, the scenario I have in my head every time I consider the subject is something like basically a kill switch, right? Which is something that actually exists in the Deus Ex universe. And for example, whenever you stop paying your taxes, they maybe not outright kill you, because that would be counterproductive, but they, like, I don't know, disable one of your arms or something, and it doesn't, you can't move it until you pay your rent or pay your pay your whatever bills for electricity and whatever, or pay your taxes, or pay your whatever, and things like that, or whenever you I don't know, engage in civil disobedience over something that the government is doing, they just I don't know, shut down your eyes and you can see, or something like that, or just straight up. I'm not sure if that's possible in the context of Deus Ex universe at this point, but theoretically maybe they could even like mind control you. I guess it is possible. I totally forgot about that. There was this guy at the beginning, right? One of the Purity First guys, and he was like wirelessly forced to take his own life. So that's even more fucked up. You can just, whenever you disobey the government or the corporations or whoever has supplied the augmentations, they can just force you to do their bidding against your will. And I wonder if that will ever be explored in greater detail. Maybe in this game, because it has been hinted at through that very audition that prompted me to speak about it. But maybe in the next one, I don't know, because it has sort of been touched upon in Deus Ex 1 with the kill switches. After all, after you turned your back on UNATCO, they tried to basically, I think, in the case of JC, it was stopping your heart. Like you had like a 12-hour period, and after that your heart would stop. And Paul's kill switch was even crazier, because his basically gave him like accelerated cancer, and tried to kill him this way, which was even crazier. But I'm definitely curious if the game will explore the subject in more detail. Besides that, because I definitely find it fascinating, and as I said, I also find it creepy and scary. So it's a prime idea for some horror in the story. Oh, I guess there goes the freaking secrecy or whatever. Access code for the elevator. A new biochip. Already read that, just on a different computer. And this keypad is very clumsy to control. That's why I sometimes stumble with the numbers, even though I perfectly know what they are. I guess before confronting her, I should perhaps like eat an energy bar or something. Just because I might need that extra energy in combat, or if I have to cloak. It's fascinating how all of those futuristic settings advance technology in every direction, but yet somehow elevators are still slow as fuck. Like, I know why that is. They are used as a mask for a loading screen, basically, but it's still kind of funny. That's an interesting office.
Stock had taken a dip earlier today as rumors began to circulate, accusing CEO Ollie McTavish of embezzlement. McTavish denied the allegations, but could not explain how millions of dollars in revenue ended up in his personal account. I'm sure it was just a clerical error, quipped Zhao Yunru, CEO of Taiyang Medical, as transfer of ownership was officially declared. The purchase gives Taiyang a significant increase in global market share.
Some troubles in India now. I think I remember that by the time Deus Ex 1 happens, India and Pakistan were decimated in a nuclear war, so they have that to look forward to.
Successfully purchased rival corporation Enprotech of Scotland.
Interesting.
Enpro stock
Is that a
dip earlier in the day as rumors began to circulate?
Is that a piece of clothing, or is that an augmentation of some sort, like an exoskeleton?
Explain how millions of dollars in revenue ended up in his personal
Not
account.
quite sure.
I'm sure
Some
it
diplomas.
was just a clerical error, quipped Zhao Yunru, CEO of Taiyang Medical.
On the recommendation of the faculty
Officially declared.
and decree of biology and nanotechnology,
Increase in global market
granted this diploma as
share. This is
evidence
Eliza
thereof.
Kasai, reporting to you live from Picus.
It's nice for the developers to put at least one diploma for me in English, because obviously I can't read Chinese.
Maneuver by biotech corporation Taiyang Medical continue to emerge. Sources close to the multinational
Is she also a fan of Laws of Detroit?
Enprotech of Scotland. Enpro stock had taken a dip
Apparently
earlier
not,
today as rumors began to
but she does have a couple of the same books, Child and Violence.
McTavish
I remember
denied
that
the
one.
allegations, but could not explain how millions of dollars in revenue ended up in his personal account. I'm sure
Some medals. Oh, I guess I didn't notice that at first, but even here she's wearing a fencing armor and like a mask. She's holding it here, and a couple of fencing swords and some medals. So I guess she's an Olympian in that regard. Interesting. Well, I will hack her safe, because if I had any evidence I would probably lock it in there.
Access granted.
Targeting system, credit sheet, and a pocket secretary. I want that. recorded news from Singapore, recent acquisition. It's weirdly abbreviated. Progress on nerve interface accelerates. Shield recovery blueprint soon. Massive order needed. On standby to transmit both sigil and false flag. False flag, huh? Make sure clinics are prepared. I'm not quite sure what to make of that yet, but it's sure relevant to something. I don't have... to be honest, this isn't half as cool a weapon as I imagined it to be, so I think I'm going to sell it once I find a proper buyer. I don't particularly mind stealing from her personally, because one, she's already filthy rich, which I totally don't see as a justification for stealing in general in the real world, but second of all, and most importantly, she's directly, well, maybe not directly, but she's one of the people directly responsible for freaking trying to kill me a couple of times already, and actually succeeding, but they don't know that because they don't know I have the power to reverse time, and also she has ordered the kidnapping of my girlfriend, so I feel somewhat justified in that. And I do need some money to buy the praxis kit at the clinic after I spent it all on bailing that girl out.
Access granted.
This message has not been sent. Gave me a job. You must convene the council. Interesting. So the council immediately brings to my mind the Illuminati. But it has not been sent. I wonder if she's working with the Illuminati, or if they will even feature in an important role in this game. Like, I would imagine so. Like, they have been key players in Deus Ex 1, and then they explained how they've been in control for years, for decades even, so that would still be true in this timeline. Maybe just not to the same extent as in Deus Ex 1. Windmill. That's the hacker that worked for her for some time. Still not sure what that is. Okay.
Nice place you got here.
Please! I didn't mean to!
Where's Megan Reed?
Reed? I don't know!
Stop lying, Zhao. I know you kidnapped her and her team. I know you're out to destroy Sarif Industries.
Sarif?
I also know you're working with that son of a bitch who left me to die. So where's Megan?
No, you got it wrong. You think I'm behind it all, but I'm not. I'm just like you, the hired help.
You're the head of a billion-dollar mega corporation.
And you think that would protect me, but it doesn't. These men, they're bigger than Sarif, bigger than Tayo. I'm nothing compared to their ambitions.
What are you talking about?
Sarif knows. Ask him. He thought he could protect his staff with subdermal GPLs. But these men, they control global interests at a whim. One called to Picus, and the implants couldn't be heard. I thought they'd sent you here to kill me. You've got to help me. Please. You've made it this far. Surely you can protect me. Surely. Surely you can protect me. Men never fail to underestimate women.
Adam, what the hell'd you do? The entire building's on alert.
Panic room. She's got a goddamn panic room.
Yeah, well, so do I. Forget about it right now. Get to the hangar bay, fast.
Well, apparently I'm supposed to flee. That shouldn't be too hard, considering I'm definitely not going to fight like 12 guys. I don't even think I have enough ammunition. So what I'm going to do is use that cloak I paid good money for, and
Jensen, I'm coming to pick you up. You anywhere near their hangar bay?
I'm heading there now.
Great. Get those bay doors open or this rescue attempt ain't gonna happen.
Smooth operator. It's probably the least fitting word to describe me and my overall performance at this game. Already read that.
Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence. Please disable security bots prior to opening doors.
Okay, so how would I go about doing that? To be honest, I don't think I have another EMP grenade, so I need to look around then.
Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence. Please disable security bots prior to opening doors.
Heavy rifle ammo. It very clearly demands of me that I destroy the bots before the doors can be opened.
Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence.
But I'm not quite sure how would I rockets. Maybe I can find a rocket launcher and just use it once to destroy the bots and then discard it. Or maybe even keep it and sell it. I would assume it would be quite valuable. I don't think I will be able to utilize the security terminal to shut down the bots because after all, I don't have the proper augmentation for that. Singapore, Hong Kong, Shanghai, dinner with chairman. That doesn't really interest me at this moment in time. I need to find some way to destroy those bots. Hugh Darrow again. I was starting to miss him. Brain implants.
Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence. Please disable security bots prior to opening doors.
This is actually, I think, already being tried. It says here, has previously been used, and that's 2009, and I think that's actually a real technology, you know, implanting electrodes into your brain to ease like seizures and stuff.
Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence. Please disable security bots prior to opening doors.
Yeah, this is the security terminal, but I doubt I don't have the proper augmentation to disable the bots, so it's unlikely to be helpful.
Incorrect security sequence. Please disable security bots prior to opening doors. Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence.
Why doesn't it work? Ah, okay, I totally didn't see that. May have still...
Hangar doors locked. Incorrect security sequence. Please disable
Access
security bots
granted.
prior to opening doors.
Yeah, I can't disable the bot from here. I will have to search for this... maybe the rocket launcher. After all, if there are rockets laying around, there's probably a weapon I could use them with somewhere. But you know what? This episode has been long enough, so I'm going to end it here. And that's all for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!